Hi everyone, I'm Cheryl and welcome to the Sewing Room channel. I'm going to demonstrate how to make this really pretty pincushion. Now it looks complicated, but it's really not. It's really pretty easy. It just has minimal supplies that you need. Use your scrap fabrics or fat quarters. You'll need some polyfill stuffing, and that's just about it. Oh, and one little button. Okay, let's get started. You'll need two 8.5-inch squares that are contrasting colors between it. So I have a large print here, and then I have kind of a solid here. Then you want to pick which one of your prints is going to be the dominant one. In other words, which one is going to show the most. Then you go to the opposite one, the one that's not going to show very often. In fact, this dark purple is this part right here. So that's what you want to decide. This is going to be my dominant fabric. Then take the least dominant and you're going to cut a hole in the center. Don't cut it through both fabrics, just one. Then place pins all around and you're going to stitch it together. So go ahead and stitch a 1/4 inch wide seam on all four sides. And whenever you stitch around corners, you're going to, as you're approaching that corner, stop 1/4 inch away, leave your needle straight down through your fabric and lift your presser foot up. Then turn your fabric and begin stitching down the other edge. And always do that at all your corners. Now you're going to trim your seams down to 1/8 inch wide. And the reason why I did 1/4 inch wide first, because stitching a 1/8 inch wide seam is really kind of hard. It's hard to, your fabric may not be able to stay very well under your presser foot. So now we're going to put the 1/8 inch line on your stitch line. So you have a little bit of fabric sticking out here. Then take your rotary cutter and trim all four edges off. After you've trimmed all four edges, then look at your corners, and if there's still too much fabric there, you want to just take a tiny bit off. So I'm just going to take just a little bit. And again, you would do that at all four corners. I want to turn it front side out, but my hole isn't quite big enough, so I'm going to just cut it a little bit bigger. And remember, you want to do it in the center. And then go ahead and turn it front side out. Now, after you've turned it pretty side out, you're going to take something maybe like this. This was a little stick that came with my Polyfil stuffing. You can take a chopstick. Don't take anything real pointed, because you want to push your corners out as much as possible. So get all those four corners out. Then, after you've done that, you want to press all of this flat and make sure your edges are really even there, that seam is right in the middle. Now cut out another piece of fabric that is 6 inches square, and then turn it over to where the not so pretty side is showing, and fold all of your edges over 1/4 inch and press. So now you're going to place it in the center right there. And this is the fabric that doesn't show very much. So this is where you want to put this pink square on. So go ahead and pin it down. And then you're going to stitch real close to the edge all the way around. But you want to leave a little opening, because this is where your polyfill stuffing is going to go in. So this is one side of my opening. I want to back stitch here, stitch down to the corner, remember leaving your needle down, then turn your fabric and continue stitching. Then I'm going to come around on this edge a little bit and back stitch. Now turn it over to this side, and you're going to be folding all the edges over just a little bit. So what you're going to do is you're going to stick the needle down into the corner. Your fabric is not folded over yet. Then fold the outside edge in. So bring it in here in the middle a little bit. And then from way out here in the corner, you're going to be stitching kind of in a curved direction. And then when you get to this point, that's where the corner of that pink square is, you're going to stitch up to here. Then fold the next edge over and begin stitching it along and continue around all 4 edges. So when you're done, this is what it should look like. Now this is Polyfil stuffing. You can buy this at Joann Fabrics and Crafts, Amazon, Etsy, and my Walmart store even sells it. So what you want to do is you're taking the Polyfil and you'd want to just break it up a little bit. You don't want to put too big a clumps in there. So take a little bit and begin inserting it in through this hole. And what you want to do is, as you're inserting it, you want to push it up into the corners farthest away from you and then continue filling it in to this opening. So here is where my opening was. So what you want to do is you want to do a temporary hand basting stitch to do this. So stitch it down a little bit. Don't use tiny little stitches, you know, they're fairly large. Then at your sewing machine, put your zipper foot on. And if your zipper foot is heading this way, you want to move the zipper foot closest to this square of fabric. And you want to stitch close to the edge along here. Now this next step will require you to have a hand needle and thread. So what you're going to do is you're going to bring 2 opposite sides together like this, and you're going to bring them really close together. Then you're going to put your thread in one corner here, push it through. Now it's kind of thick in there, so it might be hard to get that needle in. Then go over to the opposite side and put the needle in the corner and pull them real tight together. Then you want to keep going round and round and then tie it off. Now bring the other 2 sides together and do the same thing. For this next step, you either want to use carpet thread, which is a really thick thread. You can get it at Joann Fabrics and Crafts, or you can use this crochet thread. And this is what it looks like. Now you want to use a needle with a large eye in it so that you're able to get the thread through there. You may have to use a needle threader to get it in. And try to use the longest needle that you have. Now in the center we want to create this little dip that goes down in like this. So this is what you're going to do with that heavy duty thread. You're going to go right down through the center, okay, and push it hopefully down through the center on the other side. And now pull it all the way through. And then you want to go back down into the center again and come all the way up through the center up here. And again, pull it really tight. Now you want to stay as close to center. So this is what it looks like on the bottom. So then after I went up and down, oh, at least maybe 3 times, going down, up, down, up, down, up, and you've got it pulled really tight, then go ahead and feed your button over your needle. And then you don't have to go all the way down to the bottom with this. Just keep stitching it in place as best you can. Then, after you've done that, wrap the thread around the button several times, pulling it really tight, and then taking a pair of scissors and clipping it off. Well, I hope you enjoyed this tutorial and that you learned something new. If you are interested in other pincushion tutorials, I have many, so why don't you check below your YouTube screen for those links. So what you want to do is scroll down below your screen until you see the word more. Click on it, and that section will expand open. Also, don't forget to follow me on Instagram and check out my Facebook page. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time, and happy sewing. If you like the Sewing Room channel, one of the best ways to show your support is to subscribe by clicking on that red subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. And don't forget to click on share to share this video with your friends. And make sure you click on the bell so you receive notifications for all my new videos. I'm Cheryl, this is Manny, and this is Scotty. See you next time.